Malcolm and Marcus plus you were reborn. Call me Chad X, new Black Panther. With a raised fist, I resist racist oppression, injustice. Mark my words, I won't quit. Never give up till we get justice.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy CS Motivated Minds. Hey, this video y'all about to see is about 5 years old, but I decided to repost it. It basically is, is a conversation that I was having, and one person was all about, the doom and gloom of the black community and going off the things that the media shows us. And, I'm just about positivity. It's not that I don't see the things that the media show us. Yep, I see the crime, the murders and all of this stuff. But I also see the positive that they never show us. I see these kids out here and that are trying to do the best that they can. And I see the kids out here that are making good grades and doing great things that the media never shows us. And at the end of the day, what we have to do is stop buying into the negativity that they show us, because the negativity is going to be there. What we need to do is start recognizing the positive just as much as we recognize the negative. So y'all check this out. Let me turn this down a little bit. All right, check this out. Hey, I had a conversation last night, and we were just kind of talking about how we grew up, and we were talking about like the state of Black America. And some of the things he was saying is just like, he was all doom and gloom and everything was negative. But for every negative that he gave me, I gave him a positive, right? So he was like, I gave an example. He was talking about like how, like the prison population. And he was like, well, the prison, man, I'm telling you, the prisons are full of blacks. I said, well, so are colleges. So then he was like, well, where I grew up, man, I didn't see any positive, male role models, nothing positive. I said, well, we grew up kind of similar. So I saw plenty of positive black male role models. And I told him, I said, as I grew up, I said at first as a kid, I didn't really think much about it. But then as a teenager, I was like, yeah, a lot of negativity. But as I got older, got grown, especially around 25, I started to realize that we had a lot of strong black male figures, when we were growing up around here. And I started talking about people like Mr. Jefferson, Mr. Tan, Mr. Moultrie, John Bristol, Ben, and I just ran down the line. Strong black men who were business owners at the time as well, is what I talked to him about. So, like I said, for every negative he gave me, I gave him a positive. But then I put it on his front porch. I said, now, you talk about these kids and you talk about how much wrong they do and they don't listen, they don't learn. I said, well, what are you doing about it? I said, but you made it out and you're successful. So what are you doing to go back into the community to pull some of those kids out? And he was just basically saying, man, they don't listen and they hard. I said, yeah, some of them are. And I began to tell him, I was like, see, man, I'm trying to tell you, I'm involved in the school system. So I'm trying to, in the community. And I said, it's not all doom and gloom. I said, now, yeah, when I walk up in the school, you have some of those kids that don't want nothing to do with me. They'll go the other way. I said, but it's more that'll flock to me. And as I'm talking to them and putting positivity into them, they'll listen, right? I said, my job is just to plant the seed. I put positivity out there, and sometimes positivity will grow out of that. The law of life is you're going to have rich, you're going to have poor. You're going to have good, you're going to have bad. But my job out there is what I explained to him, is to just put positivity in them and to help them where I can. So I asked him, what are you doing, right? Besides sitting around and complaining about it. So I'm going to put this out there to some of y'all too. Some of y'all that love to talk about how hard-headed these kids are and how bad these kids are. What are you doing outside of your own household to contribute to your neighborhood's community and help improve some of these kids and their mindset and their thinking? Because part of the problem is the mentality that some of these kids have. Some of them can't see beyond their own neighborhoods. Some of them can't see beyond tomorrow, right? So what we have to do sometimes is change their mentality. And I told them, man, what you need to do is pick up a book and stop watching so much TV, right? Because what it is the media is driving the nation's perception of Black America, and it's always been like that. You turn on the news, 99.9% of the things that you see about black people is negative, right? But guess what? That is not the case, because there are a lot of positive things that go on in the black community and with these black kids, but you will never see it on the news, right? Never see it. So we need to stop allowing the media to drive our perception of what we think about our own people. That's where some of that self-hatred comes in, because there's a lot of positivity that goes on. So what you got to do is you need to hunt. You need to hunt the good. Look around at some of these kids that's playing high school football and basketball and doing very well academically, but you never hear about them. So I'm just saying, man. But you know, we went back and forth for a little while, but I had to break some things down to him because he's a little younger than me. And I told him, as you get older, I said, you don't catch it right now, but as you get older, you'll figure it out and you'll begin to see what I'm talking about. But anyway, man, stop watching so much TV. Stop allowing the media to drive your perception of what you think about your own, because everything about black America is not negative. But I'm about to get back on this Paris. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Malcolm and Marcus plus you reborn. Call me Chad X, new Black Panther. With a raised fist, I resist racist oppression, injustice. Mark my words, I won't quit. Never give up till we get justice.